would you feel about stepping onto an airplane with a pilot who was on their 28th hour flying? Or handing your keys over to a truck driver who was on his 28th hour of driving? Pilots are only allowed to work 14 hours a day, and truck drivers only 11 hours for obvious reasons. As a pilot, you hold about 130 lives in your hands, and as a truck driver, you're responsible for anyone driving on the road. According to Colin Dwyer in his article on NPR published last Friday, the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education has decided to allow first-year resident students to work 28 hours straight. Working this long is detrimental to doctors, especially first years, due to how sleep deprivation affects decision-making, focus, and motor skills. The need to shorten the work hours for first-year residents is apparent. Dr. Michael Carome, director of Public Citizens Health Research Group, stated that study after study shows that sleep-deprived resident physicians are a danger to themselves, their patients, and the public, and that it is disheartening to see the Accreditation Council for Graduate Medical Education cave to pressure from organized medicine and let their misguided wishes trump public health. Extension of work hours is not worth losing lives unnecessarily due to sleep-deprived doctors. Now, I understand that this extension is beneficial in situations where a doctor wants to finish up with their patient instead of just passing them over to another doctor. But I'm pretty sure that almost all patients would rather be passed over to another doctor than be having someone care for them that is sleep-deprived and exhausted. I propose that the number of hours worked consecutively in a day for first-year residents should be changed to 16 hours. This is even a generous amount because according to Charles Barger in the Joint Commission Journal on Quality and Patient Safety written in 2003, the United States lags far behind other industrialized nations ensuring safe work hours. In Europe, healthcare workers are limited by law to 13 consecutive hours. I feel that my proposition isn't much to ask because I have patient and physician safety in mind. Being a doctor is already a high-stress job, and being sleep-deprived is not an option in their line of work. They hold people's lives in their hands, and it's not only their patient depending on them, but their patient's family and friends as well. In the article Sleep Deprivation, Physician Performance, and Patient Safety, written by E. Olson in 2009, Olson states that many physicians are faced with daily analogous life and death decisions that demand excellent judgment, dexterity, and technical ability under conditions of extreme stress. In 2013, medical errors were the nation's third highest killer in 2013, and to an article in USA Today written by Jane O'Donnell. There are enough medical errors already killing people, and now that number is only going to go up. Longer hours are not only harming residents, but also the physicians. In an article from the LA Times that published March 2017, first-year resident Dr. Samantha Harrington says that her 14-hour shifts this winter at Cambridge Hospital near Boston are already plenty long. To stay awake while driving home after work, she sometimes rolls down her window to let the freezing air blast her in the face. We all know the feeling of driving or walking home late at night, struggling to keep our eyes open. Do we want the people we're trusting with our lives, our friends' lives, and our families' lives struggling to stay awake? Dr. Harrington also stated that the long shifts are based on a patriarchal hazing system, that the underlying message from longtime physicians is, I went through it, so therefore you have to go through it too. According to the article, Effect on Reducing Interns' Work Hours on Sleep and Attentional Failures, written by E. Evans in 2004, the odds of a motor vehicle crash or a near miss incident during the home commute after an extended work shift was increased by twofold and fivefold compared to those working non-extended shifts. Every extended work shift scheduled per month increases the risk of crash on a home commute by 16%. We should be focusing on the quality of work and not the quantity, according to Myers and CMA Guide to Physician Health and Wellbeing in 2003. Focusing on the quality will acquire attention to the comprehensive working and learning environment, but it will be well worth it. As you can see in the box plots up on the screen, from the article posted in International Journal for Quality and Health in 2011 by F. Flynn and C. Armstrong, the relationship between the junior doctor long working hours and their performance in a variety of cognitive and clinical decision-making tests. You can see that before the long hours, their scores were much higher than after. So when we start focusing on the quality of work over the quantity, the scores will be much higher and they'll be performing much better. I want you to all imagine your best friend, sibling, classmate, or even yourself being admitted to the hospital late at night. You expect and deserve the best doctors for this person and trust them. But after long hours and suffering from sleep deprivation, the doctors are unable to give you their best effort. And your best friend, sibling, classmate, or even yourself doesn't make it due to a mistake. The horror and sadness you're feeling right now is how Libby Zion's family felt in 1984, when she lost her life due to a medical mistake. Libby was an 18-year-old college student just like us, who lived in New York, and who was given a medication that, combined with the medication she was already on, was lethal. Dr. Zion, Libby's father, made it his mission to change the way young doctors were trained across the country. According to Jan Hoffman in her article in the New York Times in 1955, New York became the first state to regulate the long working hours of intern residents. The Zion case acted as a catalyst for the shortening of resident work hours and should not be forgotten. I urge you all to take out your phones and open Snapchat if you have it. This petition is something that you can show to any pre-med students you know, residents, or practicing physicians and ask them to sign it. It is essentially asking the American Medical Association to apply the 16 consecutive hour limit to all residents. Starting this conversation could even change the point of view who you are talking to and give them more of a patient's perspective on the matter. The AMSA needs to realize that the medical professionals are not comfortable with caring for patients when they are sleep deprived and unable to think clearly. No patient wants their doctor on the 28th hour of work. Make a change before your parent, grandparent, sibling, or best friend is in the hospital and you have no idea how long the doctor has been working.
I don't know how to do that thing.